But we aren't stopping there. I'm announcing today that next week, our UCP government will be introducing a new motion under the Alberta Sovereignty Within a United Canada Act that will, if passed in the legislature, instruct all provincial entities, including our municipalities and law enforcement agencies, to refuse to enforce or prosecute under the federal gun seizure program. Now, the Sovereignty Act motion will also make it clear that these agencies will not enforce or prosecute Albertans defending their homes and families from intruders. I got a little tip for low-life criminals out there. If you don't want to get shot, don't break into someone's house. It's really that simple, isn't it? It really is. We want our great men and women in law enforcement and our justice system to spend their precious time and effort going after criminals, not farmers, not ranchers or sport shooters, nor Albertans defending their families and their homes. Imagine that, right?
I hope people don't think this is controversial for some reason, because I don't see the problem. I mean, what about what she said was an issue? I mean, if you guys can find an issue with anything that Premier Danielle Smith just said, you can let me know. Because I don't. I mean, to me, it's just flat out common sense. And this is not the first time that I've talked about this for anybody who's been following me the last couple months. I have talked about the guy who was in Peterborough. The guy broke into his house, went into the room where his daughter was sleeping. Luckily, she wasn't there that night. Had a crossbow, by the way. Had a crossbow. He ends up getting a weapon, which was a knife, stabs the guy, and he almost loses his life. That's the price you pay when you break into somebody's house. And the homeowner was, I believe, charged. Now, I don't think anything came out of it. I don't remember hearing an update on this in the last few weeks. I don't think I did hear an update. Let me know if you did. But I don't see anything wrong with what she just said. Now, Canada has become a pretty wild place in these last few years. And people should not be forced to have to run from a criminal that forcibly enters into their house. That is a crazy thing to have to do. And just think about it here. Think about it honestly. If you are like myself, a husband, a man in a house, you have your wife, you have children. Some places you have, you might have a niece or a nephew, or you might have an elderly family member, a mother, father, maybe even a grandparent. Maybe you have somebody who has special needs, who has autism. You can have somebody who has a mental disorder, physical, whatever the case may be. The point is that they may not be able to defend themselves from somebody who is terrorizing you, breaking into your house in the middle of the night. And I'm not sure people know this, being facetious here, but you need to level the playing field at some point, because criminals don't give a damn. They don't play by the rules. They don't use proportionate force when kicking somebody's door in, having guns drawn on people, or whatever weapon of choice that they use. So then why should homeowners not be able to take force, lethal force, if need be, to protect their homes? And I've said this before, breaking into somebody's house, their castle, their home, where they should feel safe. Nobody should feel safer anywhere else than in their own home. It's one of the most like disgusting, vile things that someone can do. Like it's to me, it's horrific. Can you imagine the trauma that somebody has to deal with? Imagine children in a home who have to deal with something like this. Imagine what that does to your psyche. Probably afraid to death every night when you're in your bed trying to close your eyes from somebody kicking your door in, yelling, screaming, threatening you, stealing, whatever the case may be. That is horrific stuff. And so criminals are going to have to think more than twice at this point. If you want to be able to, you're going to have to think pretty much. Listen, it should lower the number of home invasions. That's my take. You will have to think twice. If you know that people have a license to kill your ass if you are about to break into a home. And it's just really that simple. Restore the principle that the home is the castle. It is off limits. And this is being proposed in Alberta. I hope it actually passes. I'm sure a lot of the people, you saw the standing ovation that Premier Danielle Smith got there for proposing this. And to me, it's just common sense. To me, it's actually evil that somebody cannot defend themselves to a home intruder and that they get charged for committing a crime, defending yourself and your family. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. And I would love to see this implemented and then look at the data of how things change after something like this can get implemented in terms of the number of home invasions, if anybody is actually shot and killed, and all that kind of stuff. You would definitely have to look at the data, all the resources that are being wasted on people being charged with defending themselves at the same time. That's a whole bunch of money you got to use at the same time as well. Taxpayer money. So this is something that is important to me. I'm pretty sure it's important to a lot of Canadians. And listen, I'm not advocating for vigilante justice here. I'm not talking about people walking around with firearms on the street and in their cars and all that kind of stuff. I'm specifically talking about somebody breaking and entering into your home, someone forcibly kicking down your door into your home. That's specifically what I'm talking about. Not no vigilante craziness. There will have to be very specific terms on what you can and cannot do in regard to the castle law. So I want to see what happens when this, pushes forward and tries to get implemented in Alberta. At Micro7 on IG, at Micros23 on X. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and share the podcast. Just as a quick hitter episode. Until next time, folks, I'm out.